Howdy everyone. Today, thousands of people are injured each year in horse accidents. Most of these accidents could be avoided by simply learning the correct way to saddle a horse. I have been riding horses for several years, and I'm a member of the East Texas Rough Riders, the reigning World Championship equestrian drill team. Today I will demonstrate the correct way to saddle a horse, which includes cleaning the tack, positioning the saddle and blanket on the horse, and properly placing the breast collar, bit, and tie down. In doing so, I hope you realize that the method I will be showing you prevents most accidents from occurring and greatly attributes to the rider's safety. First, we make sure our tack is clean. We take the blanket first and we make sure that it has no shavings or anything on it that could get under the skin, under the blanket, and irritate the horse's skin. Doing that could be dangerous for the rider because it irritates the horse and naturally makes him want you off his back, because the more solid and firm an object, it presses into the horse's skin and it can hurt him while you're riding. So we make sure all of that's dusted off and clean. Then we make sure that the girth on the saddle is also free. A lot of times he'll have hair or things while riding gets under it, and it'll stick to it, and we want to make sure and brush that off, because it'll actually be the tightest part when we put the saddle on his belly, and anything obtrusive or anything under the girth could penetrate his skin or hurt him, and ultimately lead to the rider being in danger because the horse is irritated and wants you off his back. So we make sure that's clean. Okay, the next thing we do is we've already positioned the saddle pad, and where we want to place this, the correct position is right at where the horse's neckline starts. The position of the saddle pad ultimately decides where the saddle is going to be positioned on the horse. So it's very important that we get this right, because we don't want the saddle sliding back. We want it to stay in its primary position and not to move. Next, we're going to place the saddle on top of the saddle pad. To do this, we put the saddle on slightly forward of the blanket, we don't want it in the center, we want it slightly forward from that. And that allows the girth to, when we cinch it up, to be in the smallest part of the horse's belly, and that keeps it from sliding back and ultimately making the saddle go back with it. So next we cinch it up. And to do this, we simply run the leather strap through the girth, and we wrap it 2 times. And I'm not going to tighten it up real tight today because I'm not actually going to be riding, but this just gives you an idea. You would cinch it up tight. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to place the breast collar, the horse's bit and bridle, and the tie down on the horse. All 3 of these things also contribute to the safety of the rider. The breast collar serves to keep the saddle from sliding back too far, and in the event that it happened and the saddle come loose, it would keep the saddle from rolling under the horse, which would make it very dangerous for the rider because he would be underneath the horse's belly. And as you can imagine, that is a dangerous situation. It can easily be avoided. So the next part we're going to do is we're going to attach the breast collar to the saddle. This is very simple, but a lot of people don't use breast collars, and it actually leads to a lot of accidents happening because the saddle, like I said, it does roll when it gets loose, or it wants to slide back and get into this area which we call the flank, and the horse is very sensitive there, and that can irritate him. So we place the breast collar. The next thing that we're going to place is the bit, bridle, and the tie down. First, we're going to do the tie down. Okay. How we place the tie down is we just put it over his nose using the nose band, like so. And as you can tell, he's a veteran. He's used to this. He does it all the time. Okay. Once we attach this, it has a clip, and it clips right into the girth. And this tie down is what we use to keep the horse from slinging his head and gaining leverage while riding if he does start to act unruly. This keeps him from being able to sling, and also from being able to sling his head back and actually hit the rider. That causes injuries as well. So the tie down is very important. Okay, and there's the tie down. This girth is actually a little loose, so I can't get it to clip, but you get the idea. It would clip right under there like so. The next thing that we would do is place the bit in his mouth. The bit is actually used to gain more control over the horse. It allows us to guide him better, and it's better than some people that just use a plain. It's almost like a halter like this, and they just attach reins to it. This allows us to control the horse a lot better. Okay, now we got the bit in his mouth. Today, you have learned the safest way to saddle a horse, which included cleaning the tack, positioning the saddle and saddle pad correctly, and placing the breast collar, bit, and tie down on the horse the right way. The horse accidents can be very tragic, but are avoidable. By following this method of saddling a horse, the chances of having an accident while riding is greatly reduced, therefore ensuring a great experience for both the rider and the horse. Thank you.